Hello, everyone, and welcome to LiveFox. My name's Dan. I'm going to give you a little demonstration here of how easy it is to create a quiz using the AI generation tool that's in there and how fast that process takes. So we're going to go ahead straight away, clicking on the Create New button here. Got a couple of different options that we have in the platform. We'll go with Quiz and Continue. And we get to this screen. We've got the AI question generator just down here. So you can choose whatever topic it is that you want to generate on. So let's go, I'm a big fan. This geography. There we go. How many questions? Let's just go with 6 for now. And then we can choose our difficulty level if we want this to be a hard, mixed, easy. Well, let's go mixed. Let's see what happens. And then we've got additional context we can type in here. So I'm going to look at the Radiohead discography. I'm going to have the whole thing. So I'm relatively confident. We'll see what happens when the quiz actually generates, but we could add some extra bits in here, like particular errors we want to go or albums we want to exclude or anything at all like that. We can add into it. So let's go ahead and generate that. Shouldn't take too long at all. Nice progress bar letting us know how we're getting on, and we have already got it. We can start over again if we're not happy with what we're looking at, but what have we got? We've got that one there. Perfect. Arrange them. So we've got different categories. We've got multiple choice, true or false, sort order. Now, there are dozens of different question types that you can pick from as well, including like using the images as your answers and pinning on images and all sorts. But we've got 6 questions there. That looks pretty good to me. Let's add those in. I need to give this quiz a name. Let's call it Radiohead album quiz. Already scratching the surface of naming conventions there. And then we can add that to a folder as well. So if we want to create a folder around these different topics, we can. We've got our questions in there. And then we've got our settings. Now, our settings are inherited from the overall settings that are in the platform, but we can change our settings per quiz. So if we know that for this one, maybe we don't need to have a question and answer kind of structure within there where people can ping into the instructor at any point, then we can disable that there. Perhaps if you're doing a virtual session, you've already got some kind of platform that's already got chat features and functionalities in, whereas if you're at a physical conference, something like that might be a little bit better. Lots of features in here. We've got our gamification features, so we could turn that off if we wanted to. If we do want to have the kind of bells and whistles, the leaderboards, and all of that stuff, we could certainly turn all of that off if we wish to. And at the end, we've also got our session feedback as well. So we can customize this. We can also additionally customize it when we actually get down to doing it as well. We can preview if we want to, but for now, I think we've got it. So let's publish. We've got that saved. And that was pretty darn quick for getting that in there. So we've got our quiz there. Nice and straightforward. We can go ahead and launch from there, hitting on the play button. We've got a couple of options. We've got on demand available as well that we could launch from, keeping that kind of ever present and being able to report on it whenever we wish to. Otherwise, if we're going to be running this live, we can launch. And we do also have version control in here as well. So if you had created multiple versions, they would be in here. You could choose which version to launch. Quite good for A/B testing. If you want to try some stuff out, see if it works, do some reporting, compare, that's all in there. And as you can see here as well, we've inherited those settings that we've set up. So actually, if we think that this group's not going to really vibe with gamification, we could now turn it off at this point in time. Or if there are specific bits in here that we want to turn off, we could go ahead and turn those off right now. So we've got multiple layers of which the settings work, so we can really get this right for the audience that we're going to be working with. So let's go ahead and launch that. And now we've got ourselves a lovely QR code that's available. We can download that, pop that into our presentation decks if we want to. We've got a URL that we can then distribute to the audience as well. Otherwise, they can join it on their phone and experience it from their phone. So we'll go ahead and start this quiz now. Now, no one's joined just yet, but we can go ahead and monitor and control the session. There's also a remote control feature as well, which is probably better suited for kind of physical spaces where you can actually use your mobile device to control your route through the quiz so that you can have it displayed on the screen behind you and then navigate through. Quite a nifty feature, that one there. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead. We're going to get ourselves into it. And this is what we're going to see. Now, depending on your company, you can have this entirely branded to your experience. So if you can have your logos on here, you can have your background colors, schemes, fonts in here as well, or you could even choose a background image if you wanted to, if you preferred that kind of thing. So I'm just going to grab my phone here. I'm going to scan that QR code, and I'm going to go ahead and join this quiz now. So let me just do that. It's on my screen now. I was trying to think of a funny name. Couldn't come to me in the moment. So let's just go ahead and just use my actual name. There we go. So we've got people join in. Now, if somebody does come in with some kind of inappropriate name, you can boot them out if you want to. But I'd like to think Dan isn't necessarily a too bad a name that you would feel the need to boot them out. So there we are. Perfect. Right. We are ready to begin here. So let's bring up our first question. And what have we got here? So the good thing here is you can have the question on the screen, read it out, particularly good if there's any kind of technology challenges. So we can read through it before we actually launch it, giving people, rather than having to, as an instructor, read the question as the timer is going down. Now, these timers are all adjustable as well. So you can, start from only a few seconds up to a few minutes if you want to for a question. But you don't want technology to hamper people, especially when there are points involved if you are using the gamification. And again, the points can be adjusted as well. So you can choose whatever structure you want. There is a default in the system. But if you want to adjust that for something better suited for you, you absolutely can. Okay, so I've got this on the phone. Now, this might not work particularly well on the screen here, but I will go ahead and kind of bring it onto the screen to show you. So we've got our first question, and on my screen there, I'm just waiting for the instructor to launch it. I'm going to launch the question. The points are going down. Oh, good. I haven't even read the question yet. Okay, and I've got the ability to answer. There's also a hint on this question as well, but I'm going to select the answer. Hopefully I've got that one right. I'm going to submit that. So that's should get that one right, whatever that one there. Timer is going to continue to go down, but you do also can see here as the instructor that everyone who has joined has answered. So you can at that point go ahead and show the answer. And yes, success. We've got that. Either fire some emojis if I want to. There we go. So that's going to be the function of how this works throughout. We can now show the leaderboard. We can see full list of everyone who's participating, what their accuracy is, their average response time as well. And we can then fire through to the next question. So there we go. True or false? Creep is on Pablo Honey. Well, that is very much true. So we've got the two options on there. Now, you might have noticed on there, if that was on a laptop, you have got accessibility features where you can use keyboards instead to answer rather than touch. And just in the nick of time, that one goes through. Oh, I'm now a bit worried I'm going to get one or two wrong here. This might be a little bit embarrassing. Okay, but we're still doing well so far. Okay. Now we've got to put these in the right order. Okay, so on my screen here, I've got a couple of arrows to work my way through. So that one, no, that came after that one. That one's there. Oh, no, oh, easy. There we go. Panicking, the pressure. There we go. So I've got those, I think, in order. That's submitted now. So I've got my submitted there, just waiting for the instructor to go ahead and show answer and victory. Absolutely. There we go. 3 questions right in a row. We've got a little flame there, fan the flames. And I've got my leaderboard on the screen here. I can see as well. Okay. So another straightforward one, but as you can see here, I've got a show hint. So I'm going to go ahead and click show hint here. And it's going to give me a hint, which is going to suggest that this was shortly followed by the Amnesiac album. So that can only be one answer. He says confidently. He says correctly. Fantastic. There we go. So doing well so far. Let's not get done for it. Oh, okay. Now we've got ourselves a hard question. So by default, the system's given us more time. It's given us more points. Oh, I mean, could be any of these, could it not? I'm going to go ahead and do the show hint on this one. Soaring ethereal feel. Okay. Distinctive drumming and lyrics about human connection. Okay, I've gone with an answer, so I feel like this is the one I'm going to fall down on. Oh, terrible. Terrible work. He's got that one wrong. Angry emoji. There we go. And our accuracy has now dropped. We've lost our streak. It's all gone horribly wrong. Goodness me. Shame. And we're coming now. Question 6 of 6. And we've got another question here with what album is this one? Can he bring it back at the end? Who knows? Who knows? Let's show the answer. Finish on a high, I guess. But there we are. Showing the leaderboard, we've got our final results there. I've got some confetti on my screen, some confetti on your screen, and all is well. So there we go. That is us running a quiz, well, actually even setting up a quiz and through to running it. Pretty quick, pretty easy, and obviously applicable to many use cases. Obviously, you don't have to generate your quizzes via AI. You can also insert documentation in, so you can copy paste text in. You can copy from other platforms as well if you've already got quizzes built in those. Or you can, of course, build from scratch. There are dozens of different question types that you can pick from. You can preview your quizzes. You can do a whole bunch of things. So very, very capable product. And so hopefully something that everyone can enjoy. So thank you for your time. I'm going to go and maybe re-listen to In Rainbow since I got that question wrong. But anyway, goodbye.